Салют, уважаемые зрители канала. Сегодня у нас задание происхождения лекарства. Присаживайтесь поудобнее и поехали.
I've seen you in the clinic. Don't play dumb. Let me guess. Natasha wants you. What's the use? Of course not. I read it in. Every book I read has descriptions that match my symptoms exactly. I can diagnose myself with a dozen people in my situation. A follow-up visit is just a waste of time and money. Mutual aid, what now? What else is there to say? Natasha was seeing me free of charge. She said I could keep a tab running for as long as I liked. Are you making fun of me? Haven't. Dr. Vash never charged me anything either. Natasha's great, but Vash was always my number one. You think I don't want to? I heard that he... I should keep my voice down. I heard that Natasha had something to do with Dr. Vash's death. They say she was jealous that her brother had stolen her patients, so she... Hey, it's just a rumor. Don't take my word for it. Forget I said anything. Since Dr. Natasha sent you over specially, I'll go to the clinic for my follow-up a little later. Bye for now.
Avoiding a follow-up visit due to money issues. I should find another patient to talk to.
What was that? Oh, you'll have to be louder. Ah! Follow-up visit. Natasha's a wonderful girl, but at this age, it's rather a lot to bear, even if they could cure me. Not for youngsters like yourself. My husband had the same illness as me, but he never touched the medicine. Then, one day, he said he needed to take care of some things at the mine. He was forever saying he wanted to go before I did. I miss him. Now that he's gone. Do you think so? Okay, you win. It's off for it. Did you want to say something else? Virtual who? All right, I heard you.
Avoiding a follow-up visit because of her husband. I should find another patient to talk to.
Why haven't I gone for my follow-up visit? Are you a patient too, or did Doc... You should head on back then. I don't need Dr. Natasha's help now. Tell her to save her worries and medicine for... Huh, so you added... She's the only kind-hearted doctor in the underworld. I just don't really approve. She tries to save everyone, which means she can't save anyone. In the end, it's the patients who suffer. Miners like me don't have time for lengthy treatments. If I can't take something and get right back to work, I may as well lie down and wait for death to... Did you, know Dr. Vash? His wonder medicine is... Dr. Vash's medicine is... different. Lots of people make a full recovery, even knowing the risk. Most people fight tooth and nail to get home. You've clearly never. Life forces you to the edge. You'll throw yourself at any opportunity, even if for people like us. A slow and torturous treatment is the same as a death sentence. Forget it. Why am I telling you all this? What? Now you listen up. The Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society is still selling that medicine. I can tell you must not tell any of this to Dr. Natasha. You hear? If you break the... Here, take this. It's the address. A final warning. Do not reveal this information to...
I know where to find the wonder medicine. That patient didn't want me to tell Natasha about this.
Upgrade configured.
This will strengthen our position.
Hey, where do you think you're going? Medicine? Oh, you mean you're the same as everyone else that comes through here? If we only take cash, this ain't a check. The Mutual Aid Society sets the price. It might be different from Dr. Vash and his handouts, but it's a darn sight cheaper than that. Well, are you buying or not? Spit it out. Wait a minute. Your clothes. Are you friends with that doctor woman? Get lost. Now. If you're a friend of that woman, then you're not welcome here.
Wait. What about our medicine? We've been waiting for ages.
Get lost, all of you. Save your breath and come back some other time.
That medicine seller sure closed up shop in a hurry. I should head back and report to Natasha.
Get lost, now. If you're a friend of that woman, then you're not welcome here.
Let's go.
Time to twirl!
Reach the end of the story in your own way. It's getting late. Where to now?
So the Mutual Aid Society found Vash's research results. Now they're selling this so-called wonder medicine to patients. Any organization doing something like this is interested in more than just mutual. As a doctor, I don't accept that. I'm responsible for their well-being. My attitude towards this wonder medicine. What Vash left behind is nothing more than reagents and experimental byproducts. I warned the patients countless times, but seems like they had their heads in the sand all along. I'm guessing the patients you met weren't exactly singing my praises, which is why you tracked the dealer. I don't blame you. After everything you heard, if you're curious about Vash's wonder medicine, you should ask some of the patients in the clinic.
Some people say that Dr. Vash was a saint who came from the overworld to help people's doctor. That's just what people who've bought into the myth like to say. The hard truth is that we were just his test subjects. It didn't matter if the medicine worked or... Of course, I can't control when it...
The medicine Vash left behind? That stuff... Can you even call? I know Dr. Natasha's here, but I have to tell it like it is. Vash had zero medical ethics. He may have had the capability, but he didn't use it to help anyone. Whenever I went to see him, he never even asked about my illness. If it were you, would you have taken that medicine?
I still haven't worked out how to convey it to you. I'm guessing you've heard a lot of different opinions on Vash. I want you to go and visit another patient, a victim of the wonder medicine. I want you to see the real consequences of abuse. Once you've understood her situation, come back and tell me what you think.
Who are you? Who? Where's my husband? Where are they? You don't know. They don't know where.
Come over here, child. It's best to... That poor lady. Yes. Before her family passed, her husband and child caught a mysterious illness. Symptoms. In order to try and rid themselves of the ailment once and for all, but the two began to suffer terribly, such that death became from that moment on. Oh, she became as you see her. Just unlucky. Oh, as far as I'm concerned, those medicine dealers are making money from... talking about it tires me out. At least my husband and I are able to...
Did you speak to her? By the look on your face, I'm assuming you've come to Be it Vash or the Mutual Aid Society, forces... Let me tell you a story. There was once a brilliant overworld doctor with unmatched farm. The doctor was set on developing a medicine that would steel the human body against the cold. But his research met with obstruction time and time again, the biggest factor being a lack of test subjects. Tampering with the human immune system carries huge... As such, the doctor got in touch with his sister in the underworld, claiming that he wanted to... Naturally, his sister was overjoyed. After all, she brought her brother underground, and I think you know what comes next. Issuing free medicine to the needy was just Vash's way of conducting experiments. On some level, his reagents were able to alleviate the patient's suffering, but nothing more. The result? Patients with mild illness would attribute their recovery to the so-called wonder medicine. While patients, I cannot accept that their fate was simply the result of misfortune or risk. No true doc. That's why I want you to help me recover all the wonder medicine. But it's impossible to sit on the sideline. Thank you. This will be hard for the people that have come to rely on the wonder medicine. But it's up to us to... You mustn't hesitate. Recover every last reagent that Vash left behind. I'll take responsibility for the consequence. Go. I'll be waiting for the good...
Stop right there. Oh, playing the hero, Wait a minute, you're that clinic woman's lackey, aren't you? Did you think the mutual aid? She's after our medicine and sent you here. Men, look lively and send this idiot.
Fighting is meaningless. I'm made to be broken. I've no interest in conflict.
Time to twirl! Do you know who I am? This big diamond! It's all yours!
Reach the end of the story in your own way.
Well, look who we have here. Your reputation precedes you, outsider. I didn't take you for a bandit and a thief. You listen here. I'm the president of the Complex Illness Mutual Aid Society. Those poor patients. Along comes a life-saving wonder medicine, only to be snatched away by a shameless bandit like you. The underworld is full of sickness. What would happen if we left it all to my mutual aid society? Has relieved that doctor of patients at the end of the road. Seems like you are quite bent. Fine, seeing as you came all this... Men, seize the medicine!
The truth of life and death. The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
Time to twirl! Time to twirl!
This is our chance.
Time to twirl! Told you I could fight. Do you know who I am? This big diamond! It's all yours!
Blast it! What did we ever do to you? Why are you taking away our moneymaker?
Moneymaker? So you admit it then? You're not in this to save lives, you're in it to get rich.
What are you doing here? Oh, as if we didn't have enough.
Selling fake medicine with false kindness. You should have I have a responsibility to protect the well-being of my patients. Or to put it another way...
You can't save everyone. The underworld is teeming with sickness.
You're right. I can't save everyone alone. But if I must, I would sacrifice food and the debt that Vash owes to the underworld rests with me. All I can do is help everyone to the best of my ability. To the...
so stubborn. In that sense, you're...
I'll take that as a... Thank you. Your actions today have saved many. I'll find a way to dispose of Vash's leftover reagents. Next time the Mutual Aid Society wants to whip up a quack cure, let's go back to town. I still owe those...
It's getting late. Where to now? Uh-oh. It looks like the patients have surrounded Natasha.
What are you saying, Doctor? The wonder medicine is...
That medicine is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Your ailments need rational, scientific treatment. Relying on
Rational and scientific, huh? The way I see it, you're...
How dare you speak to Dr.
Ma'am, please, think for a moment. How can you still be siding with her? That wonder medicine was working...
I understand your anger, but as your doctor, I ask you to trust my judgment. I will find a way to access more medical resources and help you through your struggles. If I must, I'll get help from the
The surface. I almost forgot that you...
Have some respect for Dr. Natasha.
If it's respect she wants, she better find a replacement for the wonder medicine fast. I'm out of here.
Keep at it.
Oh, you're here. I apologize. I'm okay. If I were in his shoes, I may well have had the same reaction. Now let's leave it for now. I'll feel a lot better when now's as good a time as any to tell you if there's anything you want to know. No, but I used to think we were... I actually grew up in the orphanage. It wasn't my adoptive mother always saw me as her own flesh and blood. And Vash loved me like a sister. My adoptive parents belonged to a prominent medical family. As kids, we were exposed to all kinds of medical texts. When we were older... I didn't know he had leftover reagents in Rivet Town. I was shocked when you told me. If you fail to make a clean break with the past creeps... That's a long story. He saw the human body's vulnerability to cold as a disease, and wanted to cure it so that he could survive the eternal freeze. If he succeeded, people would be able to leave. To be honest, I never understood how he'd achieve that blizzard immunity. I knew his research in the overworld wasn't going well. I used to write to him and ask him to come down and stay with the kids in the... But I was too young to know what long-term frustration could do to a person. During his stay in the underworld, he met patients affected by fragmentum corrosion with mild symptoms. Compared with non-patient, he began to simulate mild fragmentum corrosion, thinking that it could lead... Those reagents of his aren't cure-alls for critical illness. That doesn't exist. Vash made the reagents to mitigate the suffering of his... But behind my back, he had been doling out the reagents to residents who were kept in the dark. When it finally struck me that something was... I trusted Vash with all my heart. But when his experiments were exposed, I spent a long time... This was shortly before the underworld was sealed off. There were hardly any Silvermane guards remaining. We spent age. In the end, Oleg suggested that we banish him, and had his victims found out the truth, Vash would have been torn to pieces by furious underworlders. I hope so. The day I learned the truth was the day Oleg and I took Vash to the overworld. He made his final request to us. To take him outside the city to the snow plains he'd always... His figure gradually disappeared into the snow curtain. Forgive me. I'm not good at telling stories. Let's call it a day. Thank you for cleaning up the mess my brother left behind. Here, for your trouble.
Спасибо за просмотр. Ставьте лайк, если понравилось. И пока-пока.